So that must be a pretty interesting situation to get to your house at 9 o'clock, 9:30 and realize
when adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run, I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.
what's up, everybody? Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening. Welcome back to the next episode. And remember, not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. I am your host, Tariq Williams. This is your one-stop shop for everything empowerment. Let's get into it. So, interesting concept we have here today. And depending on who you're talking to, they might not always believe or think that I'm the person to talk about this particular topic, because I'm going to be honest with you, we all have room to grow, and we're all working on getting better at our time management. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the best time management person in the world, because that would be lying to you. I'm not about to do that here. We're about to have an honest and genuine conversation here on the pod, here on the channel, to really discuss, think, talk about a concept that we've heard quite a few times. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if individuals give the best advice for this particular topic. It's something that you hear. Oh, you got to be better at your time management. Why aren't you on time? Time management this, time management that. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Besides the point. So, time management. Why are we still struggling with time management? And that is what I'm going to answer the question for today. That's what we're going to answer. That's what we're going to talk about. And you know what we do here? This is a place for us to have a conversation. This is a place for us to connect. This is the place, wherever you're listening or watching, to put it down in the comments and let's have a conversation about, when you think of time management, what is the number one, not two, not five, not eight, not 35. What is the first thing you think about when you think of time management? Because the thing is, time management is something that is important. Time management, it's typically on the list of employers or what have you. They talk about, oh, we got to get better at our time management, et cetera, et cetera. We're looking for someone that is great with their time management, things like that, right? So here's the deal. When we think about the first thing that we think about, I'm going to take a guess here. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But sometimes the first thing that we think about when we think about time management, and typically I said the first thing here specifically because a lot of times when individuals think about time management, it doesn't really always get past this particular thing. And that is being on time. Being on time to things. Individuals typically and always think about, the first thing they think about when they think of time management is, all right, we start at 8 o'clock. Are you there by 8 o'clock? All right, they started at 10. They're not there at 10 o'clock, So that is a very incomplete, very surface level conversation when we're thinking about time management. And you know what we're about. This isn't our first rodeo here. You know that we don't do incomplete here, right? Excellent. You know we don't do incomplete here. We're not going to start now. So the thing is, there's a lot more layers to that, okay? And before I start getting into that, I want you all to think about the fact that we need to be in tune with our time, Okay? Be in tune with your time. Put it in bold. Be in tune with your time. Connect with your time. Okay? The thing is, we don't always when we're in a particular moment, okay, we're not always present. So be present in the time that you are giving to different individuals, to your job, to your social activities, et cetera, et cetera. Be present in those situations. Now, I recognize that sometimes you have to multitask. That's fair. That's a part of life in different situations. Multitasking, I get it. Okay. But then if you're going to multitask, still try to find ways to be present. Okay. Not only like being just take don't if you're gonna be somewhere, don't only take up space, okay? Right? You are way more than just taking up space. You are way more than just matter, okay? However, comma, you do matter. But different topic for another episode. So be in tune with your time, connect with your time, be present. And the other thing here that we need to discuss and think about is think about your efficiency with your time. Because, okay, excellent. You made it to work on time. Perfect. Wonderful. Now, what are you going to do with it? Okay, great. You made it to class on time. You sprinted and you made it there. Okay, but once you got to class, what are you doing with your time? There's 24 hours in the day. Some should be used for sleeping. Okay. I recommend sleep. Sleep is a good thing to rest so that you can be efficient and be present and connect and be in tune with your time. Okay. So think about that. So be in tune with your time. Okay. Connect with it, but also make the most of that time. Be efficient with your time. Okay. When you are getting to X place at 8 o'clock and you guys have an 8 to 10 meeting, how are you going to make the most of that? All right. That is also a part of time management. We're not always thinking about those particular things. We're thinking about time management. Okay. Not only getting there, but what are you doing once you get there? All right. So let's recap for a quick moment, and then we're gonna evolve this for a moment. So obviously you want to be on time with your time management, right? But you got to connect with it. You got to be present with your time, be in tune with your time. From there, be efficient. Okay. Be efficient, make the most of your time. All right. So it's not just about showing up. It's not just about taking up space. Okay. We do more than take up space here. Because taking up space is what? Incomplete. Exactly. So now, how do we manage that time? Okay. How do we manage that time? Well, obviously, we got to get our priorities in order. All right. Obviously, we have to get our priorities in order. And I don't necessarily have a list of do these things in order because for you and where you're at this particular situation, at this particular time, at this particular time in your life, you might need to play with these 3 different things here to figure out how you can make the most of it, most of your time. So 3 different things I'm going to tell you. I'm going to start off with the first thing. When you're trying to factor how to best use your time and your time management, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but I will tell you what to think about to make the most of your time. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is, and I was going to save this until the end, but I'm going to say this first because it means a lot to me. It should mean a lot to you. I'm sure that it does mean a lot to you. And if it doesn't, well, let's have another conversation. We are visionofhope.com for coaching. Number 1, the first thing I want you to think about when you're getting your time and your management together, your time management together is your happiness. Your happiness is so important when it comes to time management. You know, we're not always thinking about our happiness when we're trying to get to X place on time or being efficient at Y situation or et cetera, et cetera. Maybe during our social situations, we're thinking about our happiness, but obviously we don't have there's not always a ton of social and happy time. We all have to work, go to class, wherever it is, whatever you're doing in your life right now, right? And so something to think about is your happiness. Don't forget your happiness. That is because once you start not thinking about your happiness, whether you got the last two things I'm going to talk about in order, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's right. The Rock. Anyways, so it doesn't matter. You have to think about your happiness when you're talking about time management. Because if you're not thinking about your happiness, that's going to lead to depression, being overworked, sadness, et cetera, because you're not prioritizing your happiness. That is a giant, major key alert, major key. Shout out DJ Khaled when we're talking about time management. Now, the next two are important as well. So the second thing are your goals. When you're thinking about your time management, is it in line with the goals that you have for yourself? When you made goals in New Year's, when you made goals during New Year's, is it falling in line with that? Is the way that you're using your time, the way that your time is functioning, is it in line with the goals that you set for yourself? Because if it's not, something's got to change. Something's got to change because you made that goal for a reason, right? You made that goal for a reason. And so you have to make sure that your time management is also in line with that goal. And finally, this might not be the most fun thing in the world, might not be the most fun concept, but just let's be real here for a second. As adults, as students, as whatever it is you're doing, we have responsibilities. And there's a reason why you have those responsibilities. If it's in line with your happiness, if it's in line with your goals, whatever the case may be is, you have to figure out how to make sure that you are completing your responsibilities. It's extremely important because I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but once upon a time, there was an individual who was in grad school and he was at internship all day long. And then around 5 o'clock, 5:30, he had to go over to his master's class that went from 5:30 to 9. Once again, not saying any names. And once he got home, things are off. It was a little bit colder in his house, he told me. And it was cold and he wasn't sure what was going on. And then went to plug in his phone and realized lights weren't turning on, but lights in his complex were on. So then he realized that he did not use his time efficiently and he did not pay his electricity bill. So that must be a pretty interesting situation to get to your house at 9 o'clock, 9:30 and realize, man, woo, I didn't pay my bill. That must be an interesting situation. You get home at 9:30 and you about to, eat something, dinner, whatever the case may be is. And there's no power, no electricity, zero, no current, nothing, no lights, nothing. All right. So think about that. You gotta make sure your responsibilities are in order. That may or may not have happened to this individual twice. I'm not going to say any names, but the fact of the matter is you gotta make sure you're also completing and taking care of your responsibilities. So your responsibilities, your goals, and your happiness. Those are the things that you need to think about when you're getting your time management in order. Okay. If you want different tips and tricks, etc., to be able to think about how to become better with your time management and how to implement some of those things, Maybe we'll put that in another video. Leave it in the comments and let me know. But the fact is, let's be complete here. Okay? Get to your places on time, be efficient with your time, be in tune with it, be present, and ultimately make sure the factors that you're prioritizing are your happiness, your goals, and your responsibilities. And with that, thank you all for listening. We are visionofhope.com for coaching. We are visionofhope.com for the merch, Instagram, likes, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. Because remember, not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run. I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.